Some of us are routine persons and some of us are not. We all find different ways on how to become as efficient as possible in what we do. However, it's said that routine leads to an organized way of thinking, and an organized way of thinking leads to better memory, optimal uses of time, and better control of yourself. Now, everyone has a different level of routine. Too much routine can have a negative side effect. For example, if you plan your routine to the specific time of everything that you plan in a day, it can have a negative side effect because you are setting up for something that may lead you to be constantly disappointed. There are external factors and things that may arise in your day that you have no control over that may push back or set aside your specified routine that you have. So if you are constantly expecting that routine and something outside comes from it and messes it up, you are now constantly being disappointed. So that's one negative aspect of having a too perfectly timed routine. So to each their own. Everyone has their different levels of routine, and what works for you is different than what works for me and everybody else. So this video is mainly about to not let your routine become boring. Now, if you're already a routine person, it might not apply to you right now because you may have a great routine going for you, but sometime in the future it will, especially right now in this time of quarantine. So routines can become boring because we are naturally curious for things. We want change, we want something different. So if you have a good routine going for you and you become really, really good at it, very efficient, at some point you're gonna get bored of that. And so you need to bring in something perhaps that you're not good at, something that's gonna challenge yourself both emotionally and physically to become better at this specific task. So the first step is challenging yourself to something that you're not good at and incorporating it in your routine. Now for me, for example, it's flexibility. I simply don't pay much attention to it because I just don't make the time for it. For me, it's not one of the priorities. But ever since I have tried it, I have incorporated it in part of my routine. So this can have two effects. If I try it and try it and try it and say, this is not good for me, I just don't like it, I don't want to be part of my routine. Or the second effect that it can have is that I become more curious about it because maybe I like the feeling of feeling flexible and it was a feeling that I didn't feel before. So now curiosity is what drives the majority of our actions. Curiosity leads us to do certain actions that are good or bad, but the good or bad comes from your subconscious, from things that you have learned in your childhood as you've been growing up. So curiosity is the second aspect of this topic. So let's say you've incorporated this new challenging aspect into your routine and you've found that it's been great for you. That's great. And then all of a sudden you incorporate something else and something else. For example, yoga, meditating, new recipes, different kinds of workouts, and certain things that you see. And all of a sudden you start feeling like you're overwhelmed with all these new things that you're trying to bring into your routine. Well, prioritization is the third aspect on this topic, and it's very, very important that you prioritize what it is that you truly want to be part of your routine. And again, prioritization, just like curiosity, comes from what you've learned before in your past, in your subconscious. So after you have all those things set and done, you have now created a little bit of a change in your routine that allows you to have segments in your day in which you dedicate time to things in doing, but they are different. And that makes a routine not be boring. So in my example of flexibility, I now incorporate 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes of yoga every day because I know that that helps me. I was curious about it. I prioritized it because I knew it was important for my health, and thus it's now part of my routine. So guys, I hope this helped. Click the like button below, comment. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know if you like routines or not.